How's it going, everyone? It's PD Prologue back again on the Hardcore Sports Network channel. Hope you're all keeping well. So, yeah, back with the match review from Newcastle United's game against Manchester City yesterday. That took place at the Etihad Stadium. It was an 8 o'clock kickoff on a Saturday night. And this is my review of the game from yesterday. So, both teams coming off the back of wins. So Newcastle coming off the back of a 5-1 win against Aston Villa. Manchester City, theirs was a 3-0 against Burnley, but they were also playing in the Super Cup abroad over against Sevilla as well, which they won on penalties as well. So, yeah. So the game finished yesterday. It finished after full time. It finished Manchester City 1, Newcastle United 0. So my side, unfortunately, lost yesterday. But you know what? I'm not that disappointed, I must admit, to be honest, because overall, let's face it, Manchester City, they've won the Premier League title the past few times, haven't they? Because of where they are as a football club, who they've got in, and how far they've progressed as a club since under their ownership. With us, we will be up there at one point with them very, very soon. We just got to keep going, and we will beat Manchester City away from home at some point. We will. It will come. Our day will come to end the rotten run down there. It will happen at some point. So, yeah. But the performance-wise, I thought defence at the back, we looked very, very good. Our back four looked really good. The midfield, there's a couple of underperformances in there. Up front, the same a little bit as well. Again, it was just down to we didn't create enough in the final third. We just didn't create an awful lot of chances ourselves. So that was the disappointment. We give Manchester City a lot of respect, too much respect in the game, I thought as well. So I'll just read this comment from Mitch. Hey, what's up? We'll be keeping well. And yeah, they scored a really good goal from Alvarez. Nick Pope got a hand onto it, but he just couldn't stop the ball from going in the back of the net. So he was very unlucky with that. It was a really good goal. I thought their best player yesterday was Phil Foden. He's becoming a really exceptional talent for Manchester City. Really, really has. We did well to limit them to a few chances. They didn't have many chances on target themselves or clear-cut ones as well. So I didn't think Holland was on his best game yesterday for Manchester City. There was a time he really miscontrolled it and went out for a goal kick. And the time Pope did well to save it. One he put wide as well, which I remember as well. So, but I thought at times of the game we dealt with them very, very well. In terms of the lineup, we went unchanged from what started against Aston Villa. So again, we had Nick Pope in goal. We had Kieran Trippier at right back. We had Fabian Schär, Sven Botman as the two centre-backs. And we also had Dan Burn at left back. Our midfield three was Bruno Guimaraes, Sandro Tonali and Joe Linton. And our attacking three was Miguel Almiron, Anthony Gordon and Alexander Isak. So we did go with the same team because Eddie thought that worked. But again, the downfall was just not creating enough for the attackers and giving them too much respect times as well. We give away a lot of silly balls that we didn't really need to as well. But again, it was just 1-0 to Manchester City. So, yeah. Of course, Manchester City, they did score within around the 31st minute of the game. As I mentioned, it was a really good goal from Alvarez for them to score as well. We should try to find a couple of ways. I mean, as I mentioned, we did have a lot of clear-cut chances ourselves. The only one we really had was Harvey Barnes in the second half when he came on for Anthony Gordon in the second half. So that was our downfall. The referee did have a great game yesterday. I don't get why they're giving these just free kicks and yellow cards just for little touches. But I'm sorry, Jack Grealish, of all people, the time I seen him just rolling around the pitch as if he was barely touched. And if he'd been shot from the rooftop by a sniper or something, I'm sorry, it was just ridiculous. So the referee did have a great game as well, and he was just dishing yellow cards out for us for the sake of it. I mean, come on, man. Football at times is a contact sport. And it really, really annoys me why they're just giving it for some reason as well. But mind you, we've seen some other scandalous decisions go in the Premier League at the weekend as well. I've got to say the Liverpool penalty. I've got to say the dive from Dominic Szoboszlai was absolutely ridiculous. It's a dive and they give a penalty for it. So, but yeah. But do you know what? Again, go back to our game. We, at least for us, with Manchester City being one of the best team in the Premier League, at least we can come out and say, right, we've got that game out the way. We focus on Liverpool at home. Now, to me, Liverpool aren't really as good as what they think they are now. The amount of times I've heard Jurgen Klopp just go on and on and on and on, and no wonder there's a lot of people and other supporters that are really, really getting fed up with him now. So why can't we beat Liverpool at home? Get one over Jurgen Klopp, because the amount of times he's just complained about us a lot of the time as well during the season as well. It's just become absolutely ridiculous. And the guy is really losing the plot. He is absolutely losing the plot. So, yeah. So I can't see why we can't go and beat Liverpool next week on Sunday. It's in James's Park. It'll be a very, very good game. We'll be at home. We'll have a full packed 52,000 fans there as well. And yeah, I can't see why we can't look out to beat them. Hopefully, we'll look where we did beat them last season, and we will look to see what we can do in that one as well. So, but just in terms of our game yesterday, there was just a few things that we didn't do that we should have done. We should have created some more chances in the final third. We should have been a lot more better in the final third. Sorry. We really should have tested their goalkeeper, Edison, a lot as well. And we really didn't do that, I really, really thought, which was a bit of disappointment as well. So, yeah. I mean, the really one was the Harvey Barnes one, but again, it was an easy catch by Edison as well. So, Bruno didn't have the best game for us. He had a chance which he completely scuffed wide, which is not really like him. But again, who says that world-class players will not have one bad game, because they will at some point. As well. So, and again, Bruno will look and think that he even said that it wasn't a good enough performance from him himself, and he will make sure he's better for the next game as well, i.e. other players as well. Hopefully Joe Linton's fine, who had to come off injured. I've not heard any reports to say that, well, that's something serious. Hopefully we'll get more on that when Eddie Howe does his next press conference. But we'll get news on that. But hopefully it's not too serious and it was just a precaution. That's why he was taken off in the game. So, and hopefully he is fine for Liverpool, because we'll need him in that midfield. We really, really will need him in that midfield as well. So, but yeah. Again, changing the strikers didn't really offer a lot of work. Isak, I think Manchester City worked him out a lot because they knew they'd seen him as a danger man for us. Callum Wilson tried to came on, and not too much better, I thought. I mean, there was a bit of a point where Callum Wilson received the ball after a mistake from Rodri, and he went past it to Bonds, and he could have ran it all the way up to the goal line, and he didn't do that, which was really annoying. So that's what we needed to improve on for the next game. As well. So, but hopefully we will. Hopefully we will. Again, Pep Guardiola, Manchester City manager, thanking us fans for being there as well. Do you know what? I've got so much respect and time for that bloke. The way he's given us some nice things, say where we are going as a football club now, which is great to see. Remember, this man has worked under Sir Bobby Robson before, and I've got every time in the world for Pep Guardiola now. He's probably the only manager at the clubs I've got respect for, majority now, because he was coming out and saying things like they felt sorry for us going down to Manchester, about a 2.5 journey, particularly if you're driving down there. That there was an 8 o'clock kickoff on a Saturday night. Fans are not getting back till well after midnight, possibly early hours of the morning in a way as well. Depends how long it's going to take them to get back as well. So, yeah, even Guardiola was a bit disgusted with the UEFA as well, thinking why the war over abroad, and then they only had not much day to train for the next game. Because I think I did see a lot of tightness in that Manchester City team, particularly Haaland looked tired at times, I thought as well. I've got to say their best player yesterday for them was Phil Foden. He's a really, really exceptional talent. Phil Foden, and he really caused us all sorts of problems in a way, I thought, yesterday. But go back to our defending. We did well to clear our lines at times. We really, really did. I thought Sven Botman and Fabian Schär were two centre-backs were outstanding yesterday at the back. They knew, they saw when the danger, they had to clear the danger away at times. And they did that very, very well as well. So, again, during the game, Fabian Schär takes another whack to the head. You're thinking he must have a head that's made of solid steel, because he continues and gets on with the rest of the game, as if to say, with no problem at all as well. So, but we could probably do with that extra centre-back and cover, just to help someone young as Fabian Schär, because Fabian Schär's not getting any younger now. He's 31. Lascelles is in his late 20s now, nearly 30, but people are still not convinced by Jamal Lascelles at all. So they would like to see a young defender that can come in and give competition for Fabian Schär as well. But as I mentioned, Fabian Schär and Sven Botman, our two centre-backs, were brilliant yesterday. Trippier did very well. I thought Burn, I was convinced he would have struggled. His attacking-wise, he could have done a lot more. But in terms of his defending, I thought he didn't really put a foot wrong at times, I really thought as well. So, yeah. Tonali, at times he lost the ball in the midfield. But again, this guy's new to the football club. This guy is new. He's been playing in Syria. The Premier League is still new to him. In a way, he had a great debut. So he's gonna still continue to learn that as well. Whilst being in the Premier League as well. So Bruno, again, will learn that he didn't have a great performance. Joe Lint will probably learn. Almiron, I think there were times he made some good runs, but he made the wrong pass at times. There was the times he could have fed Trippier down just right next to him, who could have crossed it at the box, and you never know what might have happened on the end of that. But he went the wrong way and chose to pass it the opposite way. And that was a little disappointing. But again, he will probably learn from that as well, Almiron, as well. Hopefully, we'll see Barnes is going to possibly be pushed for a start. Either or not, I think Anthony Gordon's been playing very, very well for us. So I thought didn't have a bad game as well yesterday. So, but again, yeah, we just learn it's Manchester City. They are the champions. Let's not be too downbeat. We'll go again for the next game. We've got this game out the road. It was always going to be a tough game. It really, really was. I'd say we'll get a draw down there. If we got a draw, that would have been good, but we've only lost 1-0. At times under Steve Bruce, we would have been ripped completely. Absolutely completely. We've lost 5-0 down there under Steve Bruce. Well, we have lost 5-0 with Eddie Howe before, but last season we only lost 2-0. I mean, again, going back to Steve Bruce, he would have set up very defensively if he was still manager of the football club. And we got well and truly rinsed completely yesterday. But no, Eddie Howe, look how he's improved our side. Look at where we are as a football club. Yes, we would like to spend a lot more money than we can in terms of getting players in, but we can't because we're under financial fair play restrictions. And again, it comes down to the previous ownership. It was responsible for all of that. Might have kept the club stable, but again, where was the other money? He could have reinvested back into the football club. And apart from you using us as a cash cow for Sports Direct, Sports Direct advertisement, he could have looked at companies. He could have looked at other sponsors, where he generate more money in the football club, and he did that. And that's why we're still a little bit behind, not just Manchester City, but behind a few other clubs as well, like Chelsea, who are still continue to spend way over the should. And it wouldn't surprise me if they are hit with an FFP charge again, and they're still getting investigated under the previous ownership as well. So, yeah, it's the figures we're still quite new to this in a way as well, even though we've nearly had our takeover for coming up to 2 years. But we're make sure we're doing things sensibly. That is the thing. So because you know what the media will be like if we were to break any part of financial fair play, we will get absolutely ripped completely by the media, and they'll want to see us kicked out of the Premier League for sure, wouldn't they? So that's why we play things sensibly. Why we don't spend millions and millions of pounds on players and all that like that. We know we are taking this FFP seriously, and we're making the smart decisions we need to, and we'll buy players that are going to be the right players there for the team as well. So that is going to continue to get better. So yeah, but look at some of the teams have had disastrous results in the Premier League at the weekend as well. Manchester United lost 2-0 to Spurs. Spurs have lost Harry Kane. Manchester United go and lose 2-0 to them. I've seen parts of that game, and Man U were poor. Were absolutely poor. I thought Everton really struggling. I think they're going to get relegated this season. They'll get absolutely battered by a really good Aston Villa team who are really improving as well. Chelsea have lost 3-1 to West Ham United. West Ham United had 10 men on the pitch today, and Chelsea have still got the same old problems of buying far too many players that don't have time enough to gel properly, and that's what happens. And there you are. So there's been some of the shock results in the Premier League that we didn't see coming. So as I mentioned, just to lose 1-0 to City, and I mean, some of our fans have been going so over the top at times, and it's just ridiculous. It's like, do you want Steve Bruce back? Do you want Mike Ashley back at this football club? Come on. So, yeah. So there you are. But I know we'll make sure we're ready for the new Eddie Howe. We'll get the lads in training throughout the whole of next week, and he'll make sure we are ready for the Liverpool game. Why not? That's what Eddie Howe does, is our manager. He makes sure he has his players ready for the next game. No doubt he will. And that's why I'm confident we can beat Liverpool. We can definitely beat Liverpool next Sunday. So, yeah. So again, as I mentioned, I'm not too downbeat from yesterday. I says, right, that game's out the way. We'll go on to Liverpool next Sunday. Let's hope we can win that. Because I don't think Liverpool, as I mentioned, are what they are. Manchester City, you can understand who's into them because they're the champions of the Premier League, and they have been for the past few seasons as well. Won it the last 3 times in a row. So what does that tell you as well? So how far they've come as a club. That will be us hopefully soon. Or if it takes a few years, then okay. I don't mind that at all. Do not mind that at all. But again, just say some of the meltdown has just been over from our fans have just been so over the top, and it's like, come on, man. We could get better in the next game. We've got one of the hottest games out of the way. It's only by a goal to nil we've lost. So what does that tell you? Let's make sure we're focused for the next game. And Eddie Howe will look at that and he will think, what did not go right? What did we do well? What can we look to improve on in the next game as well? No doubt Eddie Howe will do that because of who he is as a manager of this football club as well. So, yeah. But yeah, just again, the game, it wasn't the greatest. We did create enough. We didn't do enough in terms of attacking, but we did very well defensively. And we had to stop that Manchester City coming out with, because look how many teams they've put aside previously. They've put a lot of teams aside and have won by big score lines, and we did well just to keep it at 1-0 at times as well. Maybe it wasn't our goalkeeper saving. Our defence was switched on when they had to be as well. Again, maybe we just give too much space for allow Alvarez to take that shot. Again, just Nick Pope just couldn't stop it from going in the back of the net. He was just a little bit unlucky. Yeah, with that. So, yeah, we possibly had possible appeal for maybe a small penalty, but we're never going to get a penalty from that. It did maybe catch Kovacic on the arm or his hand, but again, his arms are tucked in. So what is he supposed to do? There's not really can do that. So that's why it wasn't the critic had a look, and again, it was not. They said there was nothing wrong with it at all. I didn't think it was ever going to be a penalty of all in a million in time as well. So yeah. But yeah, let us know what you think if you're watching. You saw the game yesterday. Again, the ratings I give for all the players, I said I'd give Pope a 7 because he didn't have a lot to do. He did what he had to do at times. Trippier at 8. Was solid defensively. Fabian Schär a 9. I thought he was outstanding at the back. The same as Sven Botman, a 9 as well. Them two were brilliant in centre of defence. Dan Byrne, I give a 7. I thought defensively he did very well. Attacker-wise, he could have done a little bit more for me. So, yeah. In terms of the midfield, Bruno, I give a 5. He didn't have the best of games. He had a really scuffed effort. But again, who says all players will not have a great game at some point, as I just mentioned. So Bruno a 5. Tonali a 6. At times he did well, hold the ball up. At times he gave it away. But again, every player's going to give the ball away at some point as well. And Joe Linton, again, not the greatest, but he was a 5 as well. Again, maybe give the ball away in areas that we shouldn't have done. So, yeah. And in terms of our attacking 3, Anthony Gordon a 6 or a 7. Actually, a 7. At times he did well on the ball at times. So, yeah, and he's really coming on as a player at this football club now. Almiron, that's a 4 or, sorry, a 5. No, 4 or 5. Again, that's because again, there was times he made the wrong decisions, I thought. Andre says will be a good learning experience. Absolutely, I totally agree. Certainly will be. Isak a 5. I think Manchester City worked him out a lot of the time. They identify him as one of our main threats because of some of the goals he scored. Look at the 2 goals he scored against Aston Villa last week. So they did well. They had to target him to stop him from doing anything in the game as well. The substitutions that came on, Harvey Barnes a 6. Had a chance, but he could have maybe put a lot more power into that. It was easily caught by Edison. So that was a bit of a disappointment. Could have done a lot more better with that shot. He didn't. Short Longstaff a 5. I didn't think he did much when he come on. So, yeah. Rio says, evening, bro. Hope you're keeping well. Do you like Anthony Gordon? I think he's improving as a football player at Newcastle United. I think he's really improving as a player. So, he is. As I said, Short Longstaff a 5. Callum Wilson, I'd say a 5 as well. Again, he could have gone all the way with that ball, but he did the wrong. I think he did the wrong pass as well. He could have gone all the way, and that might have allowed Bonds to get further forward, and he could have the chance then. So, yeah. And the other substitutions, well, Anderson coming on, I'm going to give a 7. I thought he did very well when he come on as well. Last substitution was Tino Livramento, one of our new players, but he didn't have a lot to do in terms of make an impact of coming on the football pitch. The referee, I'm going to give a 3. He was terrible, I thought. Again, I just don't get why these free kicks for little touches or giving yellow cards out for these little touches as well. I just don't get it at times. I really, really don't. Our fan base is standard 10. They're just our fan base in terms of whether it's a home or away game, we keep it going. That's what our fan base is all about and who we are. So there you are. And the man Eddie Howe, I'd probably give a rating of 7. Again, you had to go with the lineup that he went with the same lineup that worked against Aston Villa. Again, just could have done a lot more better on the day, but he went with that lineup that he think was going to work. So yeah, that is the ratings I've gone with. The only one that gets a low score is the referee because he was shocking. I mean, these Premier League referees are just the Premier League being one of them, the most eye-catching of all leagues of all time. You expect to have proper referees who know what they're doing, who are competent, and again with other officials who are supposed to be competent as well. You expect better from them, and we don't see that, not just in our game, but just in other games yesterday. We've had one make a mistake in Man United against Wolves that didn't give a penalty for Wolves, which should have been, and those officials were not allowed to be part of the next football game. And again, it's not enough punishment, in my opinion, because they might go back on and they might do the same mistake again. So, but there's nothing much you can do about it. So, but yeah, the referee was just very, very poor yesterday in our game. Just so, yeah. But again, we just move on to Liverpool within a week's time. Why can't we beat them? We're at home. We'll want to make sure we want to get one over one, particularly Jurgen Klopp, because I'm getting fed up with what that man's coming out and saying about us now. it sounds like he's got no respect for anyone now, pretty much, particularly us at the moment, because who we're owned by, and he thinks that with this new rule of can't have two coaches or managers within the technical area, you think the worst one that's going to be the worst one for that's going to be us, and it's like, how way, man. That's I'm getting. It's just I'm getting fed up with that bloke completely now. So, yeah, but I think yesterday was just a learning curve for us. Hopefully, it's a bit of a kick up the backside to see if we need to be a lot more better in the next game, which we're at home, and I'm looking forward to next Sunday against Liverpool. I really, really am. Hopefully, the lads perform and we get the 3 points out of that game as well. We just got to know find out where Liverpool's attack comes from, where we know it comes from a lot, and just hopefully we deal with that very, very well as well. So yeah. But yeah, as I mentioned, I'm not too disappointed from yesterday. Hopefully it's just a learning curve, just a bit of a precaution, and we go against Liverpool. We had a really tough opening few games, as I mentioned, because we got Manchester City, then we got Liverpool, and I think we've got Brighton as well after that. So again, not an easy game in a way for us as well. So, but hopefully we will see 3 points again very, very soon. Hopefully it's next week, and we just go from there as well. So, yeah. So again, final score at the end of the game yesterday between Manchester City versus Newcastle United. It did finish Manchester City 1, Newcastle United 0. So only just lost by a goal to 0. So is that saying we go again for the next game? Hopefully we are just a lot more better as well. So yeah, we've got 8 days to get ready for the game. Well, 7 days now. This is the game played yesterday. So we got 7 days to get ready. And hopefully we are ready for Liverpool within a week's time today. So, yeah, day just before the bank holiday, Monday as well. And hopefully if we get that win, people can really enjoy their bank holidays as well. So, yeah. But anyways, I'm going to start to wrap up in just a moment. So please, if you have enjoyed for the review I've done on yesterday's game, please do drop the thumbs up, subscribe to this really, really good channel, the Hardcore Sports Networks as well. Do subscribe to my channel, which is down there, PD Proudlock. I've done my match review on the game as well with myself and my co-host Mason. So do check that out. My channel is PD Proudlock. I'm on the way to 1,900 subscribers. Hopefully do subscribe to my channel, and hopefully I can reach there very, very soon. And then we go on to that next target, which is the 2,000 subscribers. So yeah, so do check out my channel. Follow me on all my social media links as well. My Facebook page, my Twitter, my Instagram, and my Snapchat. They're all PD Proudlock as well. So I've dropped those down in the description. So feel free to follow me on there. But please again do subscribe to this fantastic channel, also down to my channel as well again, which is called PD Proudlock. So yeah, but thank you so much, guys, for those that you have watched tonight. And yeah, I'm, as I mentioned, not disappointed, and I believe we can be ready for our game against Liverpool within a week's time. So yeah, so again, thank you so much for watching. Again, make sure you do stick the thumbs up, subscribe to both the channels, myself and this great channel as well. So again, follow this on social media as well. So yeah, enjoy what yous are doing wherever yous are in the world. Always have enjoyed your day. Have a good night. Enjoy your weekend as well, whatever yous are doing as well. So yeah, and I will catch yous all later. Take care. just again, just not disappointed. Just let's get ready for the next game against Liverpool at home. See you later, guys. Take care.